Yo, it's D.Arthur in the building. I'm talking to you guys today about she wants you to command her, not ask, seed retention. Now, the reason why I say this on how she wants you to command her, not ask, what I really mean is that she wants you to be, she wants you to lead her in a way. She wants you to lead her at the end of the day. Because like the thing is, like, if you're giving it up to her by asking, if you're asking her if she would like to do something, if she wants to do something, if she wants to do this, if she wants to do that, if she wants to be with this, blah blah blah, you're giving her time to think. And the thing is, if you're giving her time to think, then the result that you're giving her, the result that she may come up with may not be incongruent with what you want. If you're giving her time to think, because the thing is, about some women is that some of them base their decisions based on how they currently feel, and emotions come and go. So if you're not really leading, you're not really initiating, you're not really giving her an irresistible offer, then it may not work in your favor. See, the thing is, she wants you to command her, not ask. Because the thing is, asking, being lenient, all of this comes it really just comes with the dynamic of who is involved. If you go on seed retention, you're gonna have a better time doing these things. If you relapse, you're not gonna have it's gonna be harder for you to do these type of things, because being a leader, leading somebody else, means that you would first have to lead yourself. And if you don't have the simple discipline to do the things that you know you have to do, then it's just gonna be harder to lead other people. She wants you to command her, not ask. The thing is, like, she wants you to initiate. She wants you to be the leader. And the thing is, if she likes you enough, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay to do this. If it's coming from a needy place, then it probably won't work as much. The thing is, she has to like what she sees, and then once she likes what she sees, and then you like what you see, now you're leading the interaction, it can actually go somewhere. So, and the thing is, to build up this is to go on seed retention. Not only do you need to go on seed retention, you need to start doing things consistently every day to build up to build yourself up. Because the thing is, confidence comes from doing the things that you said you were going to do repetitively over time. You're going to build a muscle of being confident. And once you build a muscle of being confident, it's just easier for you to ask for what you want, be who you want, do what you want, and really command your world and command her if that's what you want. Because the thing is, like, if you leave it up by chance, it's not going to work as well. It's just not going to work as well. You have to be the deciding factor. You really have to be the deciding factor. You have to be the deciding factor. You just have to make sure that you're doing things properly. Because the thing is, you have to treat women like a shadow, quote unquote. If you lead, the shadow tends to follow. But if you chase, then it's not going to work out as much. It's not going to work out as well, because you're chasing, and you have to be someone you have to be a man who can attract plenty of women in general, in order to make the leading go somewhere. Because if you're not really that type of guy, it's just going to be harder for you to do these things. And that's why, and everything starts with practice the daily disciplines that you have to do in order to become that person. And the thing is, seed retention helps you become that person, because you're no longer waiting for chance. You're taking initiative, and I mean, if you take initiative, things are just going to work out a lot better, because your results would be a byproduct of what you did, instead of just leaving it by chance. Maybe letting her decide, being lenient, being passive. Also, being passive is another way of a way for you not to get the things that you want, because if you're passive, you're not putting your influence on something. You're just letting it turn out however which way it goes. And I mean, if you do this, then the chances of it going your way is just less likely. So make sure you're lead the interaction, just initiate the things, because a woman subconsciously wants you to do this. She subconsciously wants you to lead her, and to be a leader in general, a leader of men, or a leader of men, and just a leader in general. And you have to start having the characteristics of a leader. The characteristics of a leader is one who doesn't get too up and down. He's pretty much the same. He's nonchalant. He's laid back. He only really takes action when he really has to. He's a protector. He only needs to protect something if he really has to. He doesn't get too disgruntled very quickly. He doesn't get too put off very quickly. His emotions are pretty much the same. They're pretty much the same, regardless of what is happening in his exterior world. His emotions are pretty much the same. He's a stoic. He stands like a statue. If things go bad, something in the inside might do things, but he knows that if things happen, that things are not always going to stay the same. Things will always gradually change. So he's never really too much in his feelings about certain situations. He knows things can change for the better if he's willing to do something about it. He knows that he can create his own life. He's no longer the victim of his life, but he's the co-creator of his life. Her and you leading her is just what a natural leader would do. And the thing is, you're gonna be more, like I said, you're gonna be more of a natural leader once you decide to retain and do consistent habits to help you become a leader. Now since you're on retention, you just want to take more action about your life, because I don't understand how these people, like a lot of people, want things to happen, but they're just doing the same thing that got them in their situation of getting no results, but they're expecting some different thing to happen. They have to take initiative. A lot of initiative has to be taken, especially at the beginning. A lot of initiative. You have to start something. You have to go somewhere. You just have to become. You pretty much have to be the opposite of what you were doing. If the opposite wasn't getting any results, you have to do the exact opposite of what you were doing. If the things that you were doing before wasn't producing any results, this is the only way to really get anything different. You have to start doing this. You have to change your approach, change your attitude, change the just change your perspective on certain things. And the thing is, if you do this properly, it'll just be easier for her to play her role, and it'll be easier for you to play your role, and things can live in harmony. But if you're not taking initiative, if you're getting lazy, if you're too distracted, things will probably just not work out as well as you want them to. And the thing is about, like I said, the thing is about seed retention is that once you start harnessing this energy, this very potent energy that you do, one, you're just going to be a lot happier about yourself. The dopamine in your brain is going to infiltrate your mind. I mean, you might just even catch yourself walking around, and all of a sudden you're laughing about something. You can't keep the giddiness. You can't keep the giddiness. And this plays a part in attraction as well, because if you conjure up enough good emotions in yourself, it's a lot easier to share with other people. But if you never experience any consistent good emotion, you don't really know how it is, and now you think you may depend on somebody else to give you good emotion, and that's not the case. You have to conjure up a lot of good emotion just by yourself in order to share it with somebody else. And semen retention can help you do this by tenfold, because if you have to realize how your life is when you retain and when you don't retain. I mean, if you relapse, it's just harder for you to connect with people, for you to be comfortable. You're probably going to be a lot more anxious when you relapse, and you're just going to be a shell of your real self. But once you retain, you're going to be more confident, you're going to be less anxious, you're just going to be more peaceful. If you partner this with meditation, you're pretty much going to be unstoppable in this world, because there's a lot of things, they want you to believe that there's a lot of things that should be getting you anxious. There's a lot of things that you should be getting fearful about. There's a lot of things that you should be worried about. And I mean, you can be aware of all these things happening, but if you have inner peace and you're on retention, and retention can help you gain inner peace, because as long as you retain, you have something to believe in, and you meditate, regardless of whatever is happening in your situation, you're never going to be too turned off. You're going to have the inner knowing that things will eventually get better. So you just start acting as if things will start getting better. And eventually, if you take the right action and do things consistently and persevere, things will start working in your favor. But the thing is, the key is not to get too disgruntled, not to get too pessimistic too quickly, because a lot of people like to call things way too early. They never let things develop. Develop. They just like to call it quits. Shout out to the Washington football team. Like, this is an example. They started out 2-6. Everybody wrote them off, and now they're on a 4-game winning streak, and now they're 500. They're 6-6, and they're in the playoff chase. They're in the playoff hunt. See, that this is another thing. Like, if you call things too quickly, if you never let things develop, if you just lose faith, then you're pretty much selling yourself short. There's a book called The Science of Selling Yourself Short. So never do that. Always persevere, regardless of what it may look like. Never call things too quickly, because things can change drastically if you change the approach, if you do something different, if you maybe put a little more effort in, and if you just become the best version of yourself, you'll attract better things in your life. Make sure you like the video, comment, and subscribe below. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.